Selectmen's meeting called to order to this date, November 1st. All selectmen present. First thing on the agenda is the Pledge of Allegiance. If you would join me, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, Charlie, you had said you had a request?
Yes, I'm recommending the board go into executive discussion to consider potential litigation in terms of a possible appeal with the ZBA. And we'll be coming back in the public session afterwards. At that point, we won't have any comment. We may have a comment later in the meeting after we return. So it requires a motion and a second from the board and a roll call vote from the board.
I will make a motion that we go into executive in order to discuss a potential
Ms.
litigation.
Roy?
Second?
Ms. Roy?
Yes.
Yes.
Tom? And yes.
We're going to be asking that Bob stick around for that discussion.
Okay, unfortunately, that means that we're going to take a break for a few minutes and then you can come back after. Session at this time, and the first thing to deal with is our secretary, our clerk,
Oh, yes.
the bills.
Yes, I affirm approval of the following commitment. Ambulance bill commitment number 10A for $59,012.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
I move to approve the following warrants and commitments. Payroll warrant number 38 for $360,703.77. Vendor warrant number 39 for $28,185.62. Withholding warrant number 40 for $136,519.09. Mobile home park fee number 11 for $5,160.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I move to approve payment of the following selectmen bills dated November 1st, 2016. National Grid for the monthly electrical bill, $996.35. National Grid for the concession and electric bill, $18.38. The Halifax Postmaster for $105.30. Borac Insurance for $1,451. And I think there's another one, yeah, there is attached, another Borac, but it's all the same one. Okay.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Right.
And I just want to acknowledge one
Turnover.
turnover for number 2017-5 for $125. Can I just write down?
Charlie, we have a few minutes, so.
I'm going to at this point, but update on the Silver Lake land sale legislation. I contacted my colleague over in the town of Plimpton. The Plimpton Selectmen agreed that the two towns should send a letter to our legislators and legislative leadership saying our opposition to the current legislation of the bill pending in the House right now that would allow Silver Lake to sell a parcel to Kingston, but that we would indicate that the language could be changed to make the sale subject to approval of all three communities, in which case we'd be on board. However, your colleagues in Plimpton indicated they've heard some things from their colleagues in Kingston that they might be receptive to agreeing that the changes should be made, and that before contacting our legislators, we could get something to our friends in Kingston.
Do we have the time to do that?
Yeah, it hasn't gone to the Senate at all.
It hasn't been to the Senate yet, because I hate to
So
send it up there.
It's been in the third reading for the House since late August. It
Okay.
hasn't moved since then.
How does the board feel?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
I'll contact Kingston and see if they would be on board to sign, because we have a joint letter set up for Plimpton and ourselves, but if we throw Kingston in there and revise it, the letter, I was just saying, hi, we've
That
talked
has a
about
whole lot more.
Yeah.
it. We'd like to, all three towns would be supportive of this legislation if the text was changed to,
To include the vote of the people.
I would like to also include that we send a letter to the school committee.
Silver Lake
That
School
way,
Committee.
Silver Lake School Committee, that this is going on, because my understanding is that it has to come from them in order for the legislation to be changed.
Well,
They have to send it to them because they are
it seems-
legalized.
It seems curious, because Silver Lake, when Kim and I were there a few weeks ago, Silver Lake indicated it wasn't their legislation. It was the town of Kingston.
Yeah, but according to Coulter, when I spoke to him, because I talked to him in debt on it, is that unless it comes from the body that presented it, Silver Lake, Kingston may have written it, but Silver Lake voted and
Yes.
accepted the plan. So therefore it became their plan.
Yes, you were right.
So they have to do it.
I'd be happy to do that. I can tell them that we'd like their support, but obviously, when we met with them a few weeks ago, they seemed
Yeah, they
impervious
kept-
to the idea of,
Yeah, I was sitting there, they kept saying, oh, it's Kingston, it's Kingston. I said, but you guys voted it.
and they weren't interested in discussing the matter any
It's
further.
But we
probably
should
too
point out
late to-
that all of the Halifax representatives did vote against the legislation that serve on the Silver Lake School Committee. So we did have the support of our own representatives, for sure.
So I'll go off and do that. You're meeting with the library trustees a little bit later tonight, with Meredith and Ralph Goodwin for possible election to the Board of Trustees. There are 2 vacancies right now. We have a very fat
Let's not get personal.
report. This is what's
Yes.
called the total maximum daily load report.
Very
This is a draft.
Mhm.
This is from our Ponce Pond and for other water bodies in the area. What this does, synopsis is, it tries to sit with a pollution budget per se, in the sense of, here's how much phosphorus can be allowed into these water bodies without causing harm to them. Here's where it's coming from. Here's some possible solutions to reducing the amount of phosphorus in the waters right now and going into the waters. There'll be a public hearing in a month and a half on December 15th up in the Great Hall. And this is for a presentation of the report, plus comments, questions, whoever from the public and anybody else. I'm trying to think, the report's here, if someone wants to take a look at, or paper copy, it's also online on the town website in the Ponce Pond section. So, I don't know that it solves all our problems, because obviously it requires cooperation from a number of entities that have yet to show cooperation, but it's a good starting point.
Right, and we've been waiting for it for months, so we're really excited that we have a document in place that has it in writing.
Do you need a motion to have
Does Brockton get a copy of this
Selectman
also?
Roy read it, digest it, and then interpret it to us?
Done.
While she's out there doing what?
Listening to dogs.
Yes,
huh?
I thought that might be the case.
No, will Brockton get a copy of this
Yes.
also?
Everybody in the Ponce Pond working group got a copy, everybody in the Ponce Pond mailing list, it went out to reporters, it went out to department heads. It's on the website, it will eventually show up on the LED sign when we get closer to the event and such, so.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Veterans Day's coming up next week, that's next Friday, November 11th. We have our usual short ceremony here at Town Hall at 9 AM with the laying of the wreaths at both the monuments across the street here. The